Hey YouTube, welcome back to Universe X, and for this video, the first of two today, we're going to be going over yellow in Saiyan Showdown. It's going to be the Gohan archetype, and then in a couple hours I'll drop the Turles one. So I know that these things drop daily, but I really don't like going over a couple cards at a time because I feel like we don't have the full scope, you know? A card can seem really lackluster or out of place, and then you have another two cards that make it fit right in. So I really do like having the full range of things before we drop into it. So here we go. Today, both yellows, and I believe today is also when blue starts getting revealed, so this will be interesting. And by the end of the week, I'll have some more solitaire videos up. We'll be going over blue towards the end of the week, and we'll just keep ramping up more content until we can start playing some games, some more fleshed out builds between me and the homies. Maybe I'll get some people in Discord to do some testing on video if you like to. I mean, if you want to be involved with the channel, be involved with the channel. That being said, as per usual, just wanted to say, well, I guess not as per usual, thank you guys for all the support. I really do appreciate it. I appreciate every comment, every little bit of feedback. I'm going to be getting out the contest winners. The cards are right on top next to that Vegeta this week, so be prepared for that. And yeah, if you haven't been to the Facebook official group for the card game, where you get the official announcements and spoilers, or the community group where you just have a bunch of people who love the game commenting and just kind of bringing the community together, I would suggest going into those. I also have Universe X, which is in the description as well as the Discord for Universe X. Lots of conversation goes on in the Discord, but the Facebook group and the Discord, I kind of sometimes ask questions to have them be put into videos. Just another way to interact with you, boy, and you know, the people that also are fans of the channel. Last but not least, TCGMetalZ, partnered with them. If you go to their site and put in UNIX, that's UNIX, at the checkout, you're going to get 10% off of your total purchase for his awesome metal cards. I'll be doing a commercial for that soon, I think. I really got to put the word out there a little bit more, but they're beautiful, beautiful pieces of work. And you can get 10% off, and it will not only support him for buying the card, they're going to directly be supporting me for using my code. So, if you like metal eaters, hop on. So, now that that's said, we're going to put up the template, and we're going to move directly into these cards, yeah? So, what we have here, the very first one, is the leader card. One of the first things that was noticed when people had sharp eyes, shoutouts to the European chat I'm in, this guy doesn't have Awaken on his backside. That's because he is a flipper like Lunch, and you guys would know that reading him already. But this is Son Gohan. If you have one or more energy, when a player places a field card, extra card into the battle area, you may flip this card over. If you do, switch up to one of your yellow energy to active mode, and you can't flip your leader card to the front for the turn, and then you choose one. You either draw a card, or you add one yellow field type extra card with an energy cost of 1 from your drop area to your hand. Already really cool implications. And then I'm going to move on to the backside. You've got a Great Ape Son Gohan, Saiyan Impulse, love that name. Auto, when this card attacks, choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards, switch it to rest mode, and this card gains plus 5,000 power for the turn. Auto, once per turn, when this card KOs an opponent's battle card, switch this card to active mode. Auto, when this player's field extra card leaves the battle area, you may flip this card to its front. If you do, you can't flip the leader card to the back for the turn. And if it's your opponent's turn, switch up to one of your yellow energy to active mode. This card gains plus 5,000 power for the turn. All right, so here's something that's really, really cool. I'm just gonna go off of it right now. When you have a leader like this, you don't really have to worry about getting your life total down to use super combos. You could probably actually just go for the Sparkings at this point, especially with the rate of what this deck wants to do, putting field cards in the grave and, you know, shuffling it out. On the front side, I really do like how you get to draw a card, or you get to reuse one of your energy or one of your field cards, because like between the field cards that you have in the archetype, as well as things like, you know, Planet Vegeta, the all-time just tried and true yellow field card. This is pretty cool. You could turn his flip into a pay 1 energy to search any 4 cost or less Saiyan to your hand. So I really do think this is actually really cool. Just very, very cool. I dig it a lot. Now on his backside, I like the effect that if he kills a battle card, then he gets to untap. And the first auto that he has is going to allow you to swing on said battle card. Like if they have like a 1-drop Floodgate Weenie, or just a setup card, like I like playing U7 Gohan. If I have my 1-drop Gohan and you swing on him with this monkey, you can literally tap him swing on him for 20k because of the extra 5k. And if you kill him, which you probably will at that point unless I actually hit you with an negate, you are going to untap and then be able to swing on my leader for 20k. So this is actually a really, really, really cool. Actually, sorry. It says when it attacks, you have to declare the attack. So that's a little different. Sorry, I kind of tripped over that. But yeah, you can attack a battle card and then tap something else, leaving it open to be swung on by something else. So you can really open up your opponent's weenies. And then also, yellow has so many effects that tap or blow up tap cards. This can potentially be a really, really big W when you set it up and sequence it correctly. Also, I do like the fact that when a field card leaves the battlefield, he can flip back over, but he gives himself 5,000 power. Because that happens, you know, your other side will be 15 instead of 10, so he can't just be harassed by a bunch of 10Ks after he's flipped. And if it happens on, you know, your opponent's turn, then you're going to also untap an energy, which is actually just really neat. There's a lot of cool things that go into this leader. So let's move over to the Unison. We got Kaioken Son Goku Reclaiming Hope. He has a 2-drop blocker, activate main, choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards and energy, well this is +1, with an energy cost greater than or equal to their current energy, and it can't attack until the end of your opponent's turn. And it's +0, auto choose one card in your battle area and switch it to rest mode. When you activate this card, blocker skill, switch this card to active mode. Okay. I'm not gonna hold you, I don't really like this card. It doesn't really further your board state, it just gives you a blocker, and the blocker can only block a couple times before it dies because of the nature of a Unison. And you're able to pin down something that your opponent played on curve. And yes, while we do cheat out things, we don't really like play on curve in this game. You're either cheating things out, which this card can touch, or you're playing cards beneath your curve so you can still have energy open for your defensive plays and whatnot, or supplementary plays. So I feel like this Unison just doesn't do enough to warrant a slot, but we will see. Next card, you got Krillin, Battle at the Tree. Permanent, if you have a field extra card in your battle area, this card gains blocker. That's pretty cool. Auto, if you don't have a field card in your battle area, when this card is played from your hand, activate up to one yellow field card with an energy cost of 1 from your drop area. This guy is very cool. I really like the things he can do. You can play him and play one of the field cards to either search a Saiyan or search a monster, but you can also play this guy, and again, you can, at the very most simple play, you can play a Planet Vegeta from your grave. And so for 1 energy, you're adding a blocker to the board, and you're playing Planet Vegeta, and you're going to be able to just search a Saiyan. So I think that's actually very, very, very cool. Krillin's good. Next, you get Tien Shinhan and Chaozu, Battle at the Tree. Blocker, switch this card to rest mode. When your opponent uses a skill to play a battle card with an energy cost greater than their current energy, you may choose it and switch it to rest mode. So this is cool. I think something that most people also may not read correctly when looking at this is that the way this is worded, you get around deflect. It's not a counter ability. The card comes in, this guy's auto activates, you do it. So as long as it doesn't have barrier, even if it has deflect, you'll be able to swap this in. So this is actually really neat. Like, isn't it kind of crazy? You switch this card to rest mode, and you could just like, yeah, this gets around a whole bunch of stuff. So it's actually a low-key, very powerful card. Next, we got the cute little vanilla Hero Dragon. You really don't like, it's just a vanilla, but I think this art is so cute that we could end up just using this art in Icarus instead. Like, it's just a very cute one. Next, this is the cutest art of all time. Hero Dragon, Battle at the Tree. It's a 1-cost 10k combo power blocker. Choose one yellow field card with an extra card with an energy cost of 1 in your battle area. Place it in your drop area. When this card in your hand is played or used in a combo, draw 1 card. Okay, so this is actually pretty cool because you can play it for 1, you can combo for 1. Either way, you can draw a card and then you can take a field card off of the board, which is going to trigger your ape turning back to Gohan, which is also really cute because you can see in this picture, you know, Gohan has Icarus and he's looking at it and he calms down. This is what this card does. It forces you to switch from your ape back to Gohan. I think that's really adorable. Next card, Son Gohan and Hero Dragon, Best Buds. Auto, when this card is played from your hand, look at the top 7 cards of your deck, add up to 1 field extra card, energy cost of 1 amongst them to your hand, shuffle it. Activate battle, limit 1, switch this card to rest mode, choose one of your yellow field extra cards in your battle area, place it in the drop area, choose up to 1 of your mono yellow sand cards, and it gains plus 1000 power for the battle. So if your opponent just swung neutral at you 15, you're going to be able to go up to 16 because you give 1,000 to your leader, but your leader's also going to flip, give himself 5k, so it'll be Gohan at 16k. Just a little bit of cycling for your deck. You play it, you hope to get that field card off the top, and you're going to be able to also force field card to the drop. This is Wilderness Monster. It's just a 20k vanilla. We're moving on. We've got Piccolo, Battle at the Tree. This art is hilarious, but I love it. Piccolo is just such a dad, and Turles is probably a guy who legally cannot be within 20 feet of a playground. But blocker, counterattack. Negate the attack, play this card, and you can't activate counterattack skills for the turn. Permanent, when activating this card's counter skill from your hand, if your leader card is a yellow sand card, you may choose one yellow field extra card with an injury cost of 1 in your hand or battle area and place into its owner's drop. If you do, you can activate this card's counter skill without paying its energy cost. So yes, you can only use counterattacks, one time, including this one, when you use it. So it has to be your last counter for the turn, or what you think is gonna be your last counter for the turn. But the one thing I really like about this card is that it actually doesn't prevent you from popping it out. Like, okay, what I mean by this is, if you have a field card, if it only said field card from the field, that would be troublesome because your opponent could count your plays. They could literally look at it and be like, you know what, I don't want to have happen that. I legitimately do not feel like being countered for free. And so they can play around it. But this card in specific doesn't give you the option to do that, really. You can do it from hand as well. So when they swing at you and you have no field cards on board, they have to kind of guess, like, does he have it? Like, he tapped out, he used 2 negates, but do he have it? And if you just drop, a field card from your hand and you just combo or counter with it, that's really cool. The next card we have is Son Goku, Steadfast Assistance. You got blocker, counterplay. The battle card being played in this is played in rest mode, and you play this card and you draw 1 card. When activating this card's counter skill from your hand, reduce this card's energy cost by 1 for each yellow extra card in your battle area, energy area, and drop area. So if you've charged them, if they're in the drop area, it's very easy to use. And this is a crusher ball, but you draw, so it's a giant ball, and it puts a 5k body on board, and that 5k body is a blocker, and this guy comes out for 1 energy. This is a really low-key, really good card. I think it's deserving of the ESR. I actually just, woof. I like it. It's a really good card. Yellow didn't necessarily need this, but it has it now. Next, you got Son Gohan, the Misadventure. Blocker, permanent. If this card in your battle area would be placed in its owner's drop area by 1 of your skills, it is sent to the owner's warp instead. Auto, yellow. If your leader card is yellow, when a yellow field extra card in your battle area is placed in its owner's drop area, play this card from your hand and choose up to 1 of your opponent's battle cards and use some cards ignoring barrier and switch it to rest mode. So, if it's your opponent's turn, there's ways you can stack the effects. You use an effect that causes you to drop a field card. You could use the Piccolo counter we just looked at, and you could play him by sending a field card from your board to the grave, and then you flip and you untap, but then you have this guy that's able to be played too. This is actually really good. This is going to allow you to play a fair amount on your opponent's turn, and I really like that. And the way he's going to be able to ignore barrier and tap things down, you could stop yourself from another attack. You could open up something to be swung on next turn. There's a lot this guy does, and I dig it. I really dig it. Now, next we have one of the most fun cards, I think, being released in yellow. Son Goku, a Gift from the Earth. Deflect, blocker. Permanent for each marker on Unison cards in play. Reduce the energy cost of this card in your hand by 1. So if there's 3 markers, very easy for your opponent to do. You don't even have to run a Unison to make this work. You can play this guy for 2. The 2k 20,000, or sorry, a 2-drop 20,000 attacker that has this much text is always gonna be funny. Activate main once per turn. Choose 1 of your opponent's Unison cards with 3 more markers on it. When you remove markers from a card using this card's Spirit Boost skill this turn, you can remove that many markers from the chosen card as well. Wild. Activate main. Limit 1. Spirit Boost 2. Choose up to 1 of your opponent's battle cards with an energy cost of 4 or less in rest mode. KO it. And this card gains 5,000 power and double strength for the turn. So if your opponent's at 2 or 4 markers, you can take 2 from the Spirit Boost with this and then swing on it to kill the Unison. This guy is literally a Unison destroyer, but he can also just spirit boost something. Like, you could swing with your leader and then just spirit boost 2 and drop the thing down to 0 and have it die, and then, you know, this guy is going to gain. It's just, this is good. I think this is like one of the better cards that's been released this set. I really, really like it. I'm not that happy that it's in yellow, but I really, really like it. Now you have the extra card, Hero Dragon's Home. Field auto, if your leader card is a yellow sand card. When this card is placed in the battle area, add up to 1 monster card with energy cost of 3 or less from your deck to your hand, then shuffle your deck. Auto, at the end of your opponent's turn, place this card in the owner's drop area. And then auto 2, when this card is placed in the owner's drop area from your battle area, choose 1 monster with an energy cost of 2 or less in your hand and play it. I'll let you know right now, this is actually why I like playing King Vegeta, or I'm thinking I'm going to like playing, Planet Vegeta in this deck, because Planet Vegeta doesn't have a built-in clause for having it kill itself. You can keep it on the board or remove it when you need to, but these guys are trying to make sure that you flip when you play them, and you flip at the end of your opponent's turn. Now, the better of the two, in my opinion, because I feel like there are more applicable cards to get off this one over the monster cards that don't really have a lot of synergy with this deck. The other one, yes. The skill is beatdown, yes. Not this one. Field auto, if your leader card is a yellow sand card, when this card is placed in the battle area, add up to 1 mono yellow sand card with an energy cost of 4 from your deck to your hand, then shuffle your deck. Auto, place this card in its owner's drop area from their battle area, or from your battle area. At the end of your opponent's turn, they may choose 1 card in their hand and discard it. If they don't, choose all field cards with their energy cost of 1 in their battle area and place them in the owner's drop areas. So this will, if your opponent is playing field cards, this can potentially destroy the field cards unless they tax themselves in hand. That second auto is very, very, very narrow. However, it still can really do some damage depending on the matchup. And the last card I was going to go over is, where are you? Is going to be Nature's Revival. Permanent, this card gains desire in all areas. Activate main, play up to 2 skill as monster cards from your deck in rest mode, then shuffle your deck. It's just trying to play, you know, vanillas out. If they make some relevant 2-drop, or you know, oh, sorry, it says skillless. Yeah, no, never mind. They don't have to make relevance. This is just to put out vanillas. So it's not really that great. But I think there's a lot of fun stuff in this set, and this is going to be one of the ones that's going to take a little longer for me to tinker with to make it at least good enough to show you guys like an archetype breakdown, because there's a lot of different effects popping off in this one. Either way, that is the yellow setup for Gohan. I just wanted to go over the cards and give you my initial thoughts, my initial look at the synergy, and sometime the next week or so, we will be coming up with the video showcasing at least my initial just fun build, just so you guys can see some of the interactions and the bread and butters. And like I said with Sin Shenron, if you guys ever want to hop in the Discord and talk about a potential deck list, we can do that. We'll make a channel, we'll work on it together. So thank you guys for watching. If you like the content, hit that subscribe button, help the channel grow, and I will see you guys in actually a couple hours when it comes to talking about Turles. Thanks, hope you guys liked it. See you later.